G'day, as you know I am Kaylin, and today's training session we're going to be discussing importing clockings. So in the previous one we imported employees. This one works pretty much on the same principle, where it's got a certain format that you need to put these clockings into, and then you can import that into CS Time. So we're going to show you again, just like with the employees again, there are two ways that you can do it. You can either do it through Excel, or then you can do it in Notepad as well. So I'm going to just show you. Let's do the Notepad one for this time. So let's go to Clockings. I'm going to open that up. Let's just drag this over, and then we can take a look at what that looks like. There has instead of having an E there for employee, we've now got C for clockings, and then we've got a whole lot of jargon here which doesn't make much sense at the moment now. So let's then just open up our format again from docs.cstime.com. If you browse down to importing data, and this time select your clockings one, then it'll give you that format there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let's just cancel that. I don't want to save those ones. Let's go and open up Excel again. Then we've got a clean Excel doc open here. Make that slightly bigger. Okay, so let's take a look here. We've got then again, there's our TXT file layout. Obviously a lot of information you can put in there, and here's then also the format with each field, which what each one is for. So the first field, or then column A, would need to be the C, to indicate that this is a clocking that we're going to be importing. So just like with the employees, we put in a C, and obviously if you've got multiple, you can just drag that throughout there. I'm just going to again show you. I've got my TXT that's been configured with a few clockings, so I'm just going to show you how one gets set up here. Then the next one is going to be your site. Again, if you don't have multiple sites, you're not too phased about this, you can leave that blank. Your third one is your card number, so that's optional. If you take a look at my TXT file, you'll see what we've done is in the third field I've put in a card number for the first three clockings, and then the second three clockings, batch of three clockings, I haven't put in a card number there. I have just put in the employee number. So the first one has left the employee number in and the second batch has got the employee number in there. So if you take a look then at the fourth field, it's obviously the employee number, like we had that. So now you can have either or. If you check your card number, you'll see the card number is for the employee that's been assigned to the employee, and if the employee number is not specified in here, it'll use the employee that's been allocated to that card. So obviously if that card has been incorrectly allocated, or perhaps you put in the wrong card number, these clockings can get allocated to the wrong employee. And then likewise again, you've got your employee number, which you can fill in, and you can just leave out your card number as well if you don't want to specify that. Otherwise, if you're unsure, you can just specify both. So let's just say that is I think it was 1002 it was assigned to. Just make sure again with Excel, it's a formatting thing, so if this throws away the zeros, make sure that your column has been formatted for text, which allows you then to enter, let's say 0001 for argument's sake. Okay, so there's your card number, there's your employee number. This is the date of the clocking, so let's say this clocking is for yesterday, 08/03/2015 for argument's sake. Please ensure that the format is the same as this, which is your day, month, year, that it is in that format. So don't go make it 2015, and then the month 03 and then 08 for the day. Make sure it's in that format. The time as well, you can either have it in hours and minutes, or hours, minutes and seconds. So you can go and specify then, let's say this clocking is for 8:15, and if you want to, you can specify the seconds or not. Okay, so there's our 8:15 clocking. You can specify then in field 7 is your direction. So is this a in or is this a out clocking? Obviously this should be the morning clocking, so it'll be a I for in. You can also then specify the device name. So if this clocking is coming from a specific device, you can put that in, and whether you want this clocking to be authorized or not, if it's a valid clocking or not. More than likely if you're importing clockings it's going to be valid, so you can just leave that blank. And then there's also then for your job costing and stuff, you can have companies and you know, different classifications assigned to that specific clocking, so you can also import that. And then there's, you know, these are all optional fields. Again, you'll see that it says optional if you don't have to fill these in, and you know, if you don't want to use them, you certainly don't have to put them in. You can put in comments as well. If you want this clocking is specifically only an access clocking, you can then specify that in field 23 under the clocking type. You can also put in any reference if you need, or comments or anything like that. So again, I'm going to keep this pretty plain and simple. We're going to just do the first few there. You can then go and save this as a CSV. And just another note that you can perhaps make sure, if you have saved it as CSV and for some reason you're having trouble importing this file, I've had it before as well, where you'll see if you open up that CSV in Notepad that it actually has a semicolon instead of just a comma. So just ensure that your file is correctly formatted for that import. To do that then. Okay, so as I said before, I do have a file that's already been pre-configured, which is my little clockings.txt file. I've got 6 clockings in here that I would like to import. They're all going to be for today, the 9th of March. And just to show you, to make 100% sure, I haven't imported these before, so there are no clockings for today. So we're going to import this file. Same as with the employees, we click on File, Import, and this time we select clockings instead of employees. You would then go and specify your clockings file. There you go, your clockings, and then you can go and specify whether it is a generic format, or if you do have any other formats. Let's say you're importing from another clockings.tps file, so for some reason you know, there was a new clockings file created and some clockings were imported into that file, and now you've restored a backup, you need to actually import those new clockings. You can import from the clockings.tps file as well, and many other ones as well. But I'm going to choose the generic format. That's all that we're doing for today, and we can click on Start. It'll import those clockings, and if we go and take a look at the clocking screen now, you should see those clockings have appeared then. The ones that have been allocated with a card number, just to show you, I'm going to open up that txt file again. So we had, initially we just had a card number 0001 with no employee number specified, yet it has gone and allocated to the correct employee, which was I1002. So it'll then link it to whichever employee has been assigned that card. And then the other ones, you'll see there was no card number specified, but there was an employee number. So there you'll see immediately we don't have any card number filled in there, and it's imported some of the device names for those that I had device names specified, and obviously the direction is had in there as well. So that's importing your clockings then, quite easy to do. Nothing funny there, just ensure that your format is correct and all should run smoothly. I hope that you've learned something and that you'll join me next time. Goodbye.